Live from Trafalgar, Indiana, this is the Corduroy Connect with your hosts, Derek Williams and Luke Sproles.
Hello, I'm Derek Williams, and welcome to reviewers throughout Indiana FFA.
And I'm Luke Sproles. Thank you for joining us. This is the Corduroy Connect, where we are sharing the stories that are shaping our future. We would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Purdue Agricultural Science, Education, and Communication Program. Thank you for your support of Indiana FFA and your mission of creating the next generation of agriculture educators.
In this month's edition, we'll be recapping our winter LDW conference, sharing details about important applications, and recognizing the history of our Indiana FFA Covered Wagon. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Right now, an Indiana FFA state officer is hungry, weary, and cold. These 7 teammates who all live together need your help. Please stop what you're doing and donate to the Indiana FFA State Officer Work Fund. Your small or large donation will allow the state officers to eat, have fun, and be energized for the rest of the year. To donate, please write a check to the Indiana FFA Foundation with State Officer Work Fund in the memo. Thank you for your support towards the Indiana FFA State Officers.
Now, for today's stories from across the state. Indiana FFA held its Winter Leadership Development Workshop, LDW, the weekend of February 5th through 7th. During LDW, the state officers facilitated chapter officer teams with sessions on personality traits, team conflict, and team building. Thankfully, the Indiana FFA Leadership Center was able to host 50 FFA members representing 8 chapter officer teams from across the state. To catch up on LDW, check out all of the exciting pictures on our Indiana FFA social media.
While not in its traditional format, FFA members got to participate in the annual Indiana FFA and Indiana Farm Bureau Advocacy Day. Spread out over several days, members learned about the important skills of communication, outreach, and advocacy. Through a virtual format, members met with their state legislators to promote issues important to agriculture and our organization. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau, for your partnership in this event.
State officer applications are now available on the Indiana FFA website. To access this application, click on the association page and select the State Officer tab. Talk with your advisor for more information. Applications for state office are due March 17th.
Applications for the State Officer Nominating Committee are also available. This application can be found in the State Officer tab and is due March 17th. The Nominating Committee serves as an important role in guiding the selection of next year's State Officer team. The committee is composed of 3 senior FFA members, 3 executive committee members, and 3 past state officers. For questions regarding state office or the State Officer Nominating Committee, email Joe Martin, Indiana FFA Program Specialist, at indianaffa.org.
The Indiana FFA state officers had a great National FFA Week visiting chapters across the state. The state officers were able to impact 5,542 members at 86 different events attended in person or virtually. We were also able to promote FFA through 5 TV appearances, 20 radio interviews, and 16 newspaper articles across the state. We hope that you too were able to safely celebrate our organization during National FFA Week. Let us know how your chapter was able to celebrate by using the hashtag INFFAEmbrace and INFFA Week.
February was Black History Month. Now March is Women's History Month. And to learn more about the contributions of Black agriculturalists and female agriculturalists, check out our social media. Also, keep an eye out for our social media to learn more about specific agriculturalists that we are spotlighting.
That has been the news from across the state.
Now, on to the featured story.
An iconic piece of history can be found here at the Leadership Center. To celebrate National FFA Week and the spirit of our organization, we wanted to highlight the story behind the Indiana FFA Covered Wagon. As part of our featured story, we also spoke with Prairie Heights FFA advisor, Mr. Ron Knoll, to hear about his firsthand experience. Here is the story of the Indiana FFA Covered Wagon.
Just like the United States of America, the FFA was built on a spirit of exploration and journey. In 1976, our country celebrated its 200th anniversary, also known as the Bicentennial Celebration. To recognize and honor the spirit that built our country and our organization, an Indiana FFA district got creative.
The District 3 FFA chapters wanted to take a covered wagon pulled by horses to the National FFA Convention in Kansas City, Missouri. Built from Indiana tulip poplar and set on a frame from an old Studebaker wagon built in South Bend, the covered wagon would represent the best of our Indiana heritage.
Once the covered wagon was built, the FFA chapters of District 3 got busy. Ned Stump, Prairie Heights FFA advisor at the time, took the lead in organizing volunteers. The journey would take 22 days, spread over a total of 500 miles, and would involve 75 FFA members riding on 2 to 3 day stretches.
In a celebration attended by the 1976-1977 state officers and then Indiana Governor Otis Bowen, the covered wagon left the Indiana FFA Leadership Center on October 16th. Over the next 22 days, the covered wagon made its journey to the National FFA Convention. Along the way, FFA members interacted with local communities throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. When one group completed their shift, new members would be shuttled in by car to take over.
Here is Mr. Ron Knoll to share his personal experience with that journey.
When I was a student, I believe I was a sophomore, and I got to ride on the wagon. And our stint, they broke it up into different sections from the schools in District 3 that kind of organized the whole event. And our section went from the central Illinois to the Mississippi River. And I believe we were about 3 days on the wagon, and there was 4 from Prairie Heights, and there was 3 or 4 from East Noble that were with us when we got our turn on the wagon. And again, it was a lot of fun. Every night we had lined up where we met with a different FFA chapter, and they hosted us. We spent the evening. Generally, we had a little get-together where they had a meal for us, and it was quite an enjoyable time.
The Indiana Covered Wagon finally reached Kansas City on November 7th, bringing a successful end to an incredible journey. After spending the next few days at the National FFA Convention, the covered wagon was returned by trailer to the Indiana FFA Leadership Center, where it's held today.
The covered wagon would take part in many more journeys to come. This wagon was even invited to take part in the presidential inaugural parade on January 20th, 1977 for President Jimmy Carter, who was a past FFA member himself. In 1999, when National Convention moved to Louisville, Kentucky, the covered wagon dusted off its wheels and made the 300-mile journey south. The last time the covered wagon left the center was in 2006, when National Convention was brought to Indianapolis for the first time. This journey was made in honor of Ned Stump, who was one of the originators of the Covered Wagon Project.
The covered wagon now once again remains here at the Indiana FFA Leadership Center, waiting for its next journey. Until then, it remains a living embodiment of the spirit that built our country, our state, and our organization. We wanted to thank the Prairie Heights FFA chapter and Mr. Ron Knoll for helping us to share this incredible story.
This has been the featured story. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Here's a story of a girl named Julia who was wanting to serve in FFA. Kylie also had these goals, so did Blake, and even Lauren too. It's the story of a boy named Evan who was busy prepping for the rounds. Derek studied hard to practice interviews, and they all mastered Zoom. Till one day when the NOMCOM met these fellows, and they knew that it was much more than a hunch, that this group must somehow live their dreams. That's the way we all became the SO team, the SO team, the SO team. That's the way we became the SO team.
This has been your monthly edition of Corduroy Connect. Once again, I'm Luke Sproles.
And I'm Derek Williams. Until next time, Indiana FFA, stay golden.